Carbs make you gain body fat is not a true statement. So should you cut out carbohydrates if you want to lose body fat? Let's clear the confusion once and for all. Now, a lot of people, potentially yourself included, believe that carbohydrates are the reason you are gaining body fat. People will do keto diets, low-carb diets, they will eliminate rice, bread, potatoes, pasta, whatever it might be, but do you actually need to eliminate all carbohydrates to lose body fat? And the answer is no. And let me explain. Now, as you would have heard me say before, if you listen to my podcast episodes, fat loss comes from being in a calorie deficit. Now, it doesn't matter how you achieve that calorie deficit, whether it's through reducing carbohydrates, fats, or even, although less ideal for most people, protein. At the end of the day, the important thing is that you are in a calorie deficit and therefore fat loss will happen. Now, I get it though, because a lot of people, when they eliminate carbohydrates, they are like, well, clearly the scale is going down. What I want to happen is working. Now, let me explain as to what could be going on here. First of all, you've reduced the amount of carbohydrates you're eating and therefore you've put yourself in a calorie deficit. Well done. You've just done one method of achieving a calorie deficit. And this isn't to say that that's wrong, but what I'm trying to bring awareness to within this video is that you don't have to eliminate all carbohydrates entirely. And then the second potential reason that you are losing weight on the scale is that carbs store water. So what you lose pretty rapidly at first when you eliminate all carbohydrates, and this is why people see pretty rapid results on the keto diet, is they lose water weight very quickly when they eliminate carbohydrates. So that quick drop that you see on the scale is water weight. It's not fat loss, which are two very different things. And this is also the issue of making just the scale the be all and end all of a fat loss journey. You have to be really aware of that. And then you've also got to remember as well that many foods that are high in carbohydrates, such as pizza, chips, pastries, they're all foods that are quite calorie dense. So if you suddenly eliminate these foods, again, you're going to help put yourself in a calorie deficit. And then ultimately, a lot of these nutrition approaches, I just feel like they use arbitrary rules to put you in a calorie deficit. So like keto, again, you don't need to eliminate all carbohydrates. You would likely do well to reduce some of your carbohydrate intake to help you in a deficit, but you don't need to eliminate all of them. The same way I could follow my own set of arbitrary rules and put myself in a calorie deficit too. Like I could follow the diet in which I have to eliminate all foods that are blue, or begin with the letter C, or have more than 3 syllables in the name, and isn't a protein or fiber source. Now, a few things I want to leave you with before finishing this video is that, first of all, carbohydrates, they're great for your workouts. They help energize you when you are lifting weights. And now, a lot of people who want to avoid carbohydrates, their argument is you don't need carbohydrates, which I think is just a silly argument, because at the end of the day, there are many things in this world, including watching YouTube videos, that you don't need, but they're also nice to have. The key is to also choose more nutritious whole food sources of carbohydrates, such as fruit, potatoes, oats. And then remember, fat loss comes from portion control, not being in extremes in which you go from eating all the carbohydrates to then excluding every single carbohydrate to then not being able to keep that up, so you go back to eating them all again. There's a nice middle ground there somewhere. So remember, stay in a calorie deficit, keep your protein high, ensure you're getting your fiber sources in as well, stay walking, stay strength training, and otherwise, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you want a free fat loss guide, then you can grab that via the link in the caption of this video.